let's not talk about that. But anyways, here are 15 details about Port Gellhorn in GTA 6. Let's not waste time and start with this video. Let's go. First off, let's start with the railway. One of the first things that immediately stands out is a train pulling into the station with a fully illuminated interior. This alone signals one major systematic upgrade, because it strongly suggests that trains are no longer just moving props, but actually fully enterable spaces similar to what we saw in GTA 4. The presence of interior lighting also implies that NPC usage is going to be in the train, which opens the door for dynamic events, encounters, or even crimes taking place during transit. The railway itself features working signal lights, which does prove that the idea that Rockstar has built an actual functioning rail system rather than just a decorative one. There are also no overhead power lines above the tracks, which points to a diesel-powered trains and shows that Rockstar is accounting for realistic infrastructure rather than relying on generic assets. Something that we also noticed is that NPC density around the station is noticeably higher than anything previously seen in GTA 5. Even at long distances, NPCs are clearly visible and engaged in believable idle behaviors. One NPC appears to be waiting on the platform while distracted by a phone, which may seem minor, but this level of behavioral detail suggests that idle animations are now contextual and layered rather than just randomized like in GTA 5. Just further up the scene, another NPC is beside a parked vehicle. They are moving cautiously in a way that strongly resembles a break-in attempt. This aligns directly with the 2022 leaks that showed new vehicle interaction tools and mechanics. What makes this screenshot especially important is that it appears unscripted, meaning that NPCs actually independently commit crimes based on location and time of day. And of course, in a location like Port Gellhorn, this kind of activity feels organic rather than forced. Moving across the scene, there's also a juice stand. This is actually kind of symbolic because oranges are heavily associated with Florida, where GTA 6 is set. Lighting across the scene is also very impressive. Vehicle headlights cast beams that scatter naturally across uneven surfaces and bounce realistically. They interact with surrounding materials in a way that wasn't simply possible in GTA 5. Road reflectors respond dynamically to light, becoming visible only when hit by headlights and disappearing naturally when the angle changes instead of remaining permanently visible like static decals. The draw distance in Port Gellhorn is especially impressive as well. Smokestacks are visible far into the distance, complete with animated smoke that maintains in volume and direction over long ranges. Rockstar attempted this before in Red Dead Redemption 2, but never at this scale with a dense industrial environment. This level of visibility just shows how massive Port Gellhorn is and how much vertical and horizontal space Rockstar is working with. To the left, a repair and salvage yard immediately stands out. This location directly connects to leaked mechanics involving collecting and interacting with vehicle parts. Salvage yards would be logical places for these systems, whether for upgrades, repairs, or other activities. The presence of the boats within the yard also reinforces the importance of the marine systems in GTA 6, especially in a port-focused area like this. Looking over the water, channel markers stretch far into the distance. This indicates one thing, and shipping lanes for larger vessels. This implies active marine traffic rather than decorative ships. Large vessels likely follow real navigation routes, meaning shipping traffic could operate on schedules or cycles. Nearby islands and peninsulas appear heavily industrialized, with large structures such as silos and dense lighting, which meaning they are manufacturing places or storage facilities. There's also a building clearly under construction, and if Rockstar carries over a progression system from RDR2, this structure could evolve over time. The port itself is pretty big. Even this single section, which by the way is not the main port of GTA 6, rivals with the size of the entire port area from GTA 5, which really shows the scale of Port Gellhorn compared to Los Santos. Zooming out further reveals that the scene isn't fully nighttime yet. The sun is still setting, with heavy storm clouds localized over the area, while the horizon remains clear somewhere else. And this also proves that there is a region-based weather system, where different parts of the map experience different conditions simultaneously. Unlike GTA 5's global weather, this system allows lighting, rain, and cloud coverage to vary naturally across Leonida. Shifting the focus to Starlet Motel, the first thing that stands out is the ray trace reflections. A shallow puddle accurately reflects NPCs' legs, while nearby bollards and surfaces also reflect light with proper distortion. A nearby truck shows uneven suspension, indicating advanced vehicle customization. This strongly implies that players can independently adjust front and rear suspension rather than relying on preset options, and the interiors of the vehicles are also visible through the windows. There is an illuminated dashboard and instrument panels, reinforcing the idea that vehicle interiors are now fully detailed environments. Lighting continues to define the scene. Headlights bounce off the walls and neon signs cast colored light onto nearby objects. Environmental clutter like trash bags, old furniture, and signage appears intentionally placed rather than procedurally scattered. This means that NPC routines like trash collection and maintenance occur on cycles. One motel room appears fully furnished and accessible, raising the possibility that it serves as a safe house or story-relevant interior rather than a static backdrop. Every single texture on the scene in front of you is highly varied and non-repetitive. Brick walls don't share identical patterns, power lines sag and reflect nearby light sources. They also appear to be physically simulated rather than a rigid prop. Earlier trailers showed birds landing on power lines and causing them to move. So that means that this object right here will have real physics applied to it. The motel pool is neglected, which is showing the rundown nature of Port Gellhorn. Even small props like grills, signage, and seating areas feel lived in rather than staged. Later scenes place heavy emphasis on NPC social behavior. Characters appear in natural groups, sitting, standing, and interacting with varied ways rather than repeating identical animations. Dirt on vehicles changes based on environment, with muddy splash patterns replacing generic dust overlays. NPCs can now carry objects while performing other actions and react to nearby events. They show awareness of other people's presence. Fire in front of you shows heat distortion and lighting that affects nearby characters and surfaces. And what's pretty cool is that small environmental effects tie everything together. Condensation forms on bottles and gradually fades, which indicates time-based material states. Light also reflects through transparent objects like glass and plastic, changing intensity depending on the angle and thickness. Reflections vary based on surface roughness rather than appearing uniformly glossy. Tattoos appear consistently across multiple characters, which could mean there are more gang members in Port Gellhorn. Okay, so what we know is that Port Gellhorn is a large town in Grand Theft Auto 6, it's located on the west coast of Leonida, and it's inspired by the real Florida spots like Panama City. Unlike the flashy lights of Vice City, Port Gellhorn feels more run down and forgotten. It features empty shopping centers, old motels, and broken down tourist spots. The area is known for an industrial feel and rural landscapes. It's filled with hills, thick woods, and a massive shipping port, and it also features an international raceway, which has been shown in the leaks but not the trailer. The culture here is a bit rougher. It's more focused on dirt bikes, ATVs, and local crime. A key landmark is the Bokia Bridge and a large police station, and in the actual game, we will spend most of the story mode in Port Gellhorn, since we saw Jason and Lucia's hideout here, and many other missions. Thank you guys for watching, have a nice day, and we will see you next time. Peace out.